let's say he plays next year and he averages 25 a game.
Okay.
He's due for a contract extension. Are you extending him?
Now that would be
at the max. Are you going to extend him for the max?
But hold on, I'm going to tell you something. Yeah. Do we make the playoffs or not?
Yeah, you made the playoffs. You won a round even. You lost in the Western Conference semis. Mm-hmm.
I would tell you right now, I would lean towards whatever the number is, we got you. But now I would be afraid of Steph saying, hey, I know where we're at. We may never get back to the mountaintop. Maybe you need to find a suitor for me and me don another uniform. But I think he's Jordan. Well, I think he's Kobe-like, Magic-like to where he's going to wear one jersey.
Here's what I think about Steph Curry. I think when we talk like this, we insult him. And here's what I mean. I think Steph Curry is smart enough to know that having played in the NBA for 15 years and having watched his father play for 15 years and having the realistic head on his shoulders that he does, I don't think Steph Curry is looking at the Warriors saying, well, we can win it next year. Like, he's not that dumb. He's just not. He knows they're in a brutal situation. He knows he was part of a dynasty. He's got respect for basketball history. He knows that where the Warriors are right now is an extremely challenging spot. Very challenging. It's going to be really hard to make this thing happen. Whatever they want to have, get back into contention. So, I don't believe that Steph Curry thinks that, there are definitely moves out there where we can win it. I mean, I think he hopes that.
Right, no doubt.
But
go ahead.
You can't promise something to Steph that you can't deliver. Nor can he.
But it's
possibly.
But that's the beautiful part of the game, Steiny. The answers come from what happens and transpires game to game, night to night on the court. The point is how you feel about going into a season. And as honest as you were right there, if that's how Steph Curry feels, I get chills thinking that way. Then, Steiny, the rat on the table brought to you by ATCO is, if Curry's really being that raw, he's got to look himself in the mirror and say, you know what? I may be in the way. I may be in the way of this team rebooting.
I would. I absolutely would.
Or
if I'm Steph Curry and I think it's over, I might say to Joe Lacob, I'll be your get-out-of-jail-free card.
Now, that's happened in sports before. I don't think we're remotely close. Or, Steiny.
Remotely close. He's 36 years old.
I'm going to say this to you about how you just went into that, man. I just pictured Steph raw and uncut, if you were right. So let me get this straight. When it's all said and done, all the money, everything that Steph has brought, and the money that you paid Steph, the one thing Joe Lacob could say is, you know what? Man, I tried to trade to get Steph more top-tier talent to make one last run-ditch effort at it, and it cost me Kuminga. When it's all said and done, if that were to happen and they didn't win again or even get close, I don't think, even if Kuminga was a perennial all-star,
really,
when it's all said and done, you still won the Steph Curry sweep. Like, Joe Lacob is going to sit back and say, thank you. Let me give you a bow. That's what I'm saying.
A couple things. Joe Lacob would absolutely not take that. He would not take Paul George, no title, and then watch Kuminga be an all-star for 8 years. No chance. Like, how stupid would you have to be to do that?
That's on the table with whoever, if they make a move and it cost them Kuminga. That's on the table.
If that's the way they go, but there's no chance they go that way.
See, that's what, and I think
here's the other thing. Here's the other thing where you're completely underestimating Lacob. You actually think that he's going to bring essentially the same team back? No chance. Like, no chance.
Well, that's why we're here. Just Ramona again. That's why she's saying they're aggressive.
Right.
Like, they're going to do something.
They're going to try.
But who do you really think it's for? Two guys.
Who?
Three. Kerr, Curry, and Draymond. Because I really believe they still think they got action.
Okay. Well, then, you know what? Run it back. Let me ask you, do you think Joe Lacob thinks it's a 54-win team with Draymond? I don't.
Do you think he thinks they're more a 10th seed or a 54-win team? I think he would say, I think we're more the 54-win team.
Knowing Joe Lacob, I think he looked at last year's team and said, we stink. We're 5-21.
You didn't bring Chris Paul in here thinking you were going to not make the playoffs.
5-21. That was their record against the best teams in the West. They can't compete with the best teams in the West. They were 5-21.
I get it.
Let's go to Phil Mo Mike. What's up, Phil Mo? How you doing, man?
Talk to us.
Hey, baby, what's up with you? I'm having an interesting conversation. The only one Guru Joe has to be true to is himself and the investors. That's it. You feel me, Goo? You got to remember, Goo, you be talking all this, what you be talking? You be talking some righteous stuff. But my point is, turn everything around. No, listen, Goo, turn everything around. If you're the owner, right, you're Joe Lacob, right, and you're paying someone $55, $30 million, $28, $25 million, you ain't, what, bro, you better get your butt out there and play. I don't want to hear none of them. Go practice your jump shot. That's how you would be, Goo. Honestly, if you're the owner, you're paying these people millions and millions and life-changing money and putting them on. But I'm just keeping it real, bro. And then at the end of the day, what are we talking about? This ain't no championship team. We talking about Klay Thompson, or the disease of me is real. We out here talking about stuff that has nothing to do with winning ships, nothing to do with winning championships. We need to mortgage Klay for 2-3 other players. It's point blank. We don't have enough bodies. We need more players. We may not be able to get the great players that we want, but we may have to get 2 or 3 other players. And another thing, somebody talk about how we won championships. I'm going to keep it real. We had a steady diet of great mid-range shooters, and we used to lead the league in dunks and layups, and we had Klay and Steph, the greatest shooting backcourt of all time. That's how we won championships. Not from hella three-point shooters. We had Sean Livingston. We had Mo Spates. We had jump shooters, man. And then money has changed Draymond Green. I can safely say that. I didn't want to admit that, but it has. And status, success has changed Klay Thompson. Only one that ain't changed is Steve Kerr and Steph Curry. That's it.
Mike,
money's changed Draymond, and success and status has changed Klay Thompson.
No, wow. Well, he gave us the...
that was Dick Vermeil.
Yeah, that was Dick Vermeil. No, Mike, that was... wow. But I'll say this to Mike. So Mike is a Warrior fan, a lifelong Dub fan. When you hear the Warriors linked to some of the big boys, doesn't that send the signal that they're going to die trying, or what they deem the right course of action is?
And do you think that's new?
No,
it's old.
But they're telling you we still think our dude, number 30, still has something left.
What they're saying is the same thing when Joe Lacob bought the team. We're going to be aggressive. We're going to be aggressive. They're not any more aggressive now.
Well, the need is as the talent erodes around you and Curry, Steiny, it's a necessity now that you go replenish.
Well, you can't.
Well, you can if you get Durant. You can if you get Butler. You don't like their age, but I'm drinking the milk while you're like, this thing's going to expire in 6 more months. Drink the milk. We'll deal with it then. That's what this signals is. I'm not far off as a lot of people, as you think, in regard to they're trying to
run it back. I dare you.
No, run it back with better another star, Steiny.
Well, that's easier said than done.
Right.
So what if you can't get a star?
Then it's running back.
Oh, Steph, I'm so sorry.
It's the Fitz model.
I'm so sorry,
with Klay
Steph.
or without. It's the Fitz model.
Oh my God! Don't be mad.
No, stop.
Don't be mad. We tried.
It's different when you try and the Farhan thing.
Again, what is they've been trying ever since Joe Lacob bought the team. What is different now?
They're not making the playoffs. When they brought in Chris Paul and everybody just knew they were making it.
They made the finals and went out and got Durant. Okay? His reputation is to be aggressive. He's doing nothing this offseason that he hasn't done every single offseason.
But this shattered him.
Let me tell you what's not
this hurt
news.
his heart, Steiny, not making the playoffs.
Did it hurt it more than the last 2 times in 4 years?
I would say there was...
Which hurt the most of the last 5 years? Which 3 non-playoff years
but there were
hurt him the
injuries
most?
to say, you know what, that's why we didn't make it. That's why we didn't make it. We saw him and Raymond Ritter here at the station. We heard, I know, Guru, you'll fall for it.
You will.
No, that man really thought they had some... He never once in a million years thought they weren't going to make the playoffs. That's why I'm saying, Steiny, this is like the 1906 quake. To him, you telling me we didn't make the offs and I'm sitting with Steph Curry? I'm just telling you,
You're answering your own question in a way. Yeah, that's right, Goo. You're sitting with Steph Curry. You're sitting with Steph Curry, the guy who you continually say, well, as long as you have Steph, you got action. That's not true. You've missed the playoffs 3 times in 5 years. You don't automatically have action with Steph Curry. You don't anymore. You need more than Steph Curry. Let's go to Coach in Vallejo. What's up, Coach?
Coach.
Hey, Steiny Guru.
Hey.
Nice talking to you guys.
Yeah.
And today I'm totally with you, Steiny Guru. Right now, the Warriors will not even trade Kuminga for Butler straight up. Kuminga is more valuable than Jimmy Butler. He doesn't move the needle, and it's insulting to lump him with Kevin Durant. I mean, that's not even close. However, Guru, do you remember in the Sacramento Kings game when a backup third-string guard picked Steph Curry twice in the middle of the court?
And he picked Wiggins, too. You're right. I do.
You know, so what Steiny is saying is this. The league has gotten faster and more athletic, bringing in old guys. Oklahoma City, Houston, they would run those old guys off the court.
But he's changed Draymond and success.
Uh-oh.
That was Mike.
Hey, Coach.
So I'm still here. Are you still here?
Yeah, we got you. Go ahead.
My bad.
Yeah, they would run them off the court, Guru. So you do need to play the young guys more. Steph would welcome Kuminga in the game. He would welcome Moody in the game. He would welcome Trace Jackson-Davis in the game because they would bring the energy out there, and Steph would not have to put out as much because they would be providing energy. You bring an old dog like Paul George, or you an old dog Jimmy Butler, an old dog Kevin Durant, you might as well bring back Chris Paul.
Coach, let me just jump in and you finish. All right, I know I'm operating, I won't say loser mentality. When Denver won their chip 2 years ago, they beat Miami. And you know who dragged Miami with nobodies to the finals? It was Jimmy Butler.
Eastern Conference.
It was Jimmy Butler. He took them to the finals. They lost to
Eastern
Denver.
Conference.
Oh, okay. But still, it's a feat, Coach. So I feel like you're selling Butler short on that. Like he is a dog still, and I still think he has something left.
You know, but Butler is redundant to what we have, Guru. Butler he's the same height and size as the Kuminga, Draymond, Moody. We need a big man, and we need a point guard that's really, really fast to stop dribble penetration. We need that really bad.
Wow.
Thanks,
Good call,
Coach. Appreciate the call.
Like Coach. Yeah, he's down on Butler. Wow. I'm not, Steiny. I think Butler knows he's getting moved. It may not be here. A dog like that, he knows he knows what he did and how I think he's just getting his way out of Miami was almost so disrespectful. He knows wherever he shows up, it's go time.
It feels like if people had the choice, they would choose Paul George over Jimmy Butler.
Who would you choose?
I like Butler. I think he has more of a track record of winning.
And I like George Steiny, but he broke my heart. But he would be the third. He would be the third fiddle. Butler would be and
it doesn't you don't think twice about the fact that Durant went nowhere in the playoffs. Paul George went nowhere in the playoffs. James Harden went nowhere in the playoffs. This year, Butler didn't even play in the playoffs because he was hurt. Like there's a theme. Curry didn't make the playoffs. Draymond Green didn't make the playoffs. LeBron James. I don't know. Did they make the play-in? I can't even remember. LeBron James, no factor in the postseason. Those guys, aren't they showing you those types of players that the league is leapfrogging them?
See, I don't want to go. I don't want to go there yet because I know you talk about how long you watched the game. I think Kevin Durant, that he didn't benefit from that whole team didn't from not having a point guard. But when it was all said and done, I thought Durant did well for himself, even losing in that series to where you're like, you know what, other things are going on. But you bring up those names, but they weren't together. And I think if you get Jimmy Butler and Draymond Green together, along with Steph Curry, that is way better than anything you could concoct.
Better than Booker, Durant, and Beal?
I guess I could say that confidently now, watching that fail.
All right.
Yeah.
Steve's in San Jose. What's up, Steve?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, man, what's going on?
Hey, long-time listener, third-time caller.
Thank you.
Wanted to touch on the Warriors situation. Not only, I think we should bring back Clay at a discount if needed. Most definitely, he's part of the culture. It keeps us winning. And then I also think a strong case for Jimmy Butler. Don't you forget in 2018 he challenged the Minnesota Timberwolves front office, and he bullied the shit. Excuse me.
Yeah. Let's go to. It's going to cost you.
Yeah.
Good catch, E. Well,
you reap what you sow,
he
brother.
Challenged Karl Anthony Towns and Wiggins.
Nah, he did more than that.
He did more than that, Stein. Hey, Coach, you're one of my favorite, and he's critical of me too, Steiny, but he's still one of my favorite. I think he sold Jimmy Butler short. Now, you're right, and you're going to throw something at me that's fine. I'll catch it. I'd rather you tell me Butler didn't make the playoffs from health reasons. That's better than being available and getting ousted like Phoenix did. Like, I don't understand what happened.
I don't care.
Yeah, but to me,
I don't care.
But to me, that's how I look at it because you brought it up.
Well, guess what? Butler only played 60 games. How are you going to be a 4 seed when Butler only plays 60 games?
Well, the gig is you hope that doesn't repeat itself.
Exactly. That's why I'm not getting older, because I don't think you can keep walking that line. You keep relying on these guys. They're not going to be the guys.
Before you get to the next call, I got a Clay question. What do you think could be said to salvage whatever's going on that hasn't been said already?
$30 million a year. That's what you could say.
Well, that boy.
Yeah. Joe's in Walnut Creek. Hey, Joe, what's going on?
Hey, I'm kind of agreeing with Steiny, man. They cannot get older. If they get one of those old guys and they can do it without giving up one of the 4 core young guys, I say fine, but otherwise don't give them up. Guru, you're buying into a lie. The lie you're buying into that's driving me crazy is that if Draymond would have played the whole year, the Warriors would have been a better team.
Yeah.
They were 2 games over 500 when he went out, dude. And the only reason they improved in the second half of the season is because the young guys started playing. The last third of the season, it was because Trace Jackson-Davis, Pods, and Kuminga all started getting more minutes, and then they won. They were 500 with Draymond before he got suspended. It's a total lie that they would be better if he'd have played the whole year, and it's killing me every time I hear it.
Well, I'll say this to that. We don't say they would have went undefeated in the games he missed, but you feel like, all right, let's just say they were 500. You add that win total onto what they already had. Steiny, they're a 5th, 6th seed.
I don't live in fantasy land. I don't. And I certainly am not going to strategize in a fantasy realm.
Well, what land are the Warriors operating? Forget me. What land are they operating in now?
They are the 10th best team in the West. That's what I'm looking at them as. That's a fact. What isn't a fact is if they had Draymond, they would win 54. That's an opinion. A fact is they're the 10th best team in the Western Conference. And their most important players continue to get older. Not 30 to 31, not 31 to 32, 35 to 36.
Because I was just about to say Dallas went and got 32-year-old Kyrie, but that don't even fit.
And they have 25-year-old Luka Doncic. Norman's in Oakland. What's up, Norm?
Hey, fellas, how are you guys?
Norm.
Thank you for taking my call. I mean, I usually